At the end of the day, you're here to feel good. Now, that may seem, even saying that seems a little bit shallow, to be honest. No, we're not just here to feel good, True. We're here to suffer and we're here to learn lessons and we're here to experience more. All of that could be just as validly true if you believe it. But basically, the perspective that I want to share with you is that feeling good is what ripples out the most enjoyable experience of reality, regardless of what is happening externally right now in your life. So, what am I really trying to say here? I'm trying to say that I believe it is your birthright. In fact, I know it's your birthright. If you have desires and you're watching this video, it is your birthright to have those desires fulfilled. Period. Otherwise, if that is not how us humans are here playing in this holographic reality, and if that's not the case, that your desires are here to be fulfilled across mental, emotional, relationship, intimacy, like all of it, then this universe is a distorted place, is honestly a little bit malicious, if not fully malicious. If you give a creature desires, but they're never supposed to be fulfilled. It is not the will, it is not by design that those are going to be fulfilled in the natural design of the universe, then that is a fundamentally flawed universe. That is an imperfect universe. That is actually an intentionally evil universe in a sense. Do you follow me? So, in my perspective of what we're here to do, we're here to joyously expand. Shout out Brian Withers one more time. So if you're watching my videos, just know that if I don't shout out Brian, I give you credit, Brian. Like I'm basically processing and embodying the perspective that you share along with several others, but it is incredibly powerful. The more that I'm basically using this creativity of making these videos for my audience as a way to process and better understand why it's so beautiful, your perspective on what we're doing here, the priority of enjoyment and expansion, and how having desires fulfilled is actually what we're here to do, and it's natural. It's the most normal thing ever. So let's get into even more of ignoring your reality then. So what do we mean by ignoring your reality? So for example, let's say you have, I don't know, $20,000. When you go, and this may be a bad example, but maybe catch my drift on this. Let's say you have $20,000 in the bank account, right? You get this desire, and you've had this desire for months to, let's say, get a new truck, right? Just so happens you're driving down the road in your other, maybe your POS little, Hyundai or whatever. Shout out Hyundai. And you're like, damn, that's the truck. And there's a truck sitting over there in some sales lot, and you're like, that's the color, that's the model, that's what I want. Turns out you walk in there, it's 37,000, let's say. Now, it may be a bad example, but ignoring reality, the reality that you have only $20,000 and your desire being fulfilled is 37. Now, there's an argument to be made that no, you should not buy that truck. But there's just as much of an argument to be made in this very arbitrary universe that is ruled by emotion. This is what's important. It's ruled by emotion. What you're radiating out and choosing to emote is what is being pulled back into your experience and being attracted to you. So if you were to say, oh, I don't have that, I can't do that, then that's one timeline. You continue going down the road in the car that you don't like, that doesn't bring you joy, and you continue to feel that separation and also somewhat unworthiness of not having that truck. And you're choosing to not go with the desire of enjoyment and expansion, trusting that money is just one way you can be blessed, or money is that the $20,000 that you have right now is all the money that is available actually to you right now is also not fully true. Because if you're actually living most of your day in the vibration of joyous expansion, knowing that everything actually is an excuse to feel good. Let me say that again. If you're living day to day, hour by hour, most of the day, knowing that everything that happens to you and happens with you and around you and in your field is an excuse to feel good, no matter if it initially to your ego for a few seconds feels like an annoyance or a loss or a pain, you know that everything works out for you. You know that the emotional vibration you're holding is in fact reorchestrating the outside world to pull you what it actually knows you want. You don't need to worry about the how. You don't need to worry at all about how the hologram is going to bring those fulfillments about. So in the example of the truck, imagine if you went in there and said, instead of saying in your car as you're driving down kind of sad and not joyful, you're saying to the dialogue in your head is, oh, I only have $20,000. Just keep driving. I can't buy that truck. That's not for me. Even though if you switched into the vibration of what feels deeply enjoyable for me. Oh shit, I love that truck. Wow, me sitting in the truck and driving the truck. Wow, that feels good. And instead allowing the creativity of that vibration to give you new thinking. For example, how could it be possible that I acquire that truck? Not even acquire it. Let's even back it up a little bit less and say, how could I even facilitate my using of that truck? Maybe I don't have to own it in my name. Maybe the title doesn't have to be in your name. Maybe you could just have access to a truck that brings you joy. Maybe if we keep going, by this logical line of thought, maybe you don't actually have to share any of your $20,000 or get into a $37,000 lease or contract or payment plan. Maybe some other creativity happens and the universe goes, hey, and you get a text from a buddy that says, hey, I have a truck. I haven't been using it. I saw you had a post there. Something told me to text you. You can use it anytime you're in Denver or wherever you live. These are the kinds of things that happen when you're in the vibration of joy and enjoyment. Enjoyment. So ignoring your reality is not dissociating from reality. It's not having a break from reality and going to a mental asylum. It's not saying, oh, I don't see, oh my God, I'm so poor, I'm so broke, I'm so unhealthy. It's having that tape, and instead you're saying, wait a second. This is the current reality. That is what is appearing to me to be true. But if I suspend my belief that this is actually all that I have, and I actually access the vibration of how good I can feel, of the specific dreams and desires that actually excite me, a specific significant other, how do they feel around you? How is it to be around them? Getting in touch and tapping into the feeling of that intimate relationship, of the fun, of the laughter, of the understanding, of the support of a soul connection, for example, or receiving thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. How would that feel to your system? Relieving. Allow yourself to feel that relief. Actually feel the relief. And as you're feeling that relief, you're pinging to the universe, making yourself a match to it. And again, I will remind you, as you're ignoring your reality and you're choosing to simply feel good, it's the most alpha shit you can do. You are the dominator of this reality that you are experiencing. As the more you do that, as you're doing that, You don't worry about how it's going to happen. You're letting, and this is where trust comes in. This is where the knowing, it's not even faith or hope or trust. It's knowing that you understand how this reality works and that all you need to do is get into a feel-good state, knowing that everything is on its way. It's not even on its way, as if it's over there or in the future. It's actually as real as you're feeling it right now. You already have it. And let me finish with an example of that exact thing. I just got myself a scooter. Nice scooter. I feel great on it. I was feeling the feeling of the freedom, of the relief, of the enjoyment of riding and having a scooter to go around town before I got it, before it was actually in my hands and I was driving down the road with it. So feeling actually is gently pulling, you could say in a sense, these things to you for fulfillment. So you don't worry at all about how. You don't worry at all about how, oh, I need to do this, or I need to work harder, or I need to. As soon as you start thinking about, oh, I have to work harder and I have to grind and hustle, and now I have to wake up at 5 a.m., let's make this happen. No, you do not need to make it happen. The only thing you need to do is actually access the vibrational enjoyment that you know is your birthright. That's it. And you may actually, ironically, find yourself naturally in flow states, working more hours than ever you had before. But it's not because you're forcing yourself to be more disciplined. It's because primarily you said, wait a second, I understand how this universe works much better. I am a radio tower of what state am I vibrating in? And I know, I don't even trust, I know that the more enjoyment I'm having in my own body, that everything that I'm desiring can't help but come to me, whether that be in health, wealth, money, relationships, place to live, all of it. Enjoy your own being. Don't work harder. Find the calibration of actually just letting yourself feel good. This is what it means to ignore reality. Don't worry about what's out there. Oh, I only live here. Oh, I only have this. Oh, I don't look at my bank account. Oh, no. Ignore it. Tap into the feeling of enjoyment. List out a few things that you actually desire. What would they be fulfilled? What are those things? A list or a goal, or not even goals, just a list of enjoyable things to be and do and have, and spend most of your day feeling good. Unconditionally for no reason. Comment below. I want to hear your thoughts. Share this with a friend. That's the video for the day.